try calling. Okay, hello everyone. Today I will explain MCP servers. What are they? Why they matter and how you can actually build with them. By the end, you have a clear picture of how MCP fits into modern AI and developer workflow. MCP. What is MCP? MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Think of it as a standard way to for an application and AI model to talk to external tools and resources instead of writing custom integration for every tool. MCP gives a common language like an API protocol, so any client that speaks MCP can connect to any MCP server. So there are two main parts in this. There is the server, then there's the client. The server exposes capabilities like data, tools, and prompts. Data can be in form of, they can be called resources. A client connects to servers and uses capabilities and uses those capabilities. Let's try to think of the analogy like in the real world. How do they relate? Imagine a USB-C, or let's say once a USB becomes a standard, you can plug in keyboard, mouse, storage without rewriting every time you connect to a computer. MCP is like a USB, but for AI tools integration. So bear with me. This will make, I'm sure, to make things easier as we move. And for now, let's try to focus on what is an AI host. An AI host in this case can be cloud code, can be a chatbot that you have developed yourself. It can be it can be, let's say for example, you have Olama installed on your local machine and you are chatting with a downloaded model or instruct model that you have downloaded from the Olama repository or from an open source library like DeepSeek R1. You can download those models and you can chat with them on your local machine. Then you can try in some sort of way to create an MCP host outside cloud code or Kesa or something of similar like that. So what is an MCP host or AI application? It's just your application which has a chat interface. You're chatting with a model, and we want this chat model to be capable of calling external APIs, calling external tools, having access to pre-written prompts for our own development. This is where MCP server put into play. Right now, AI assistant often feels like a world of like they know things, but they can't reach your tools, files, or databases locally. And with MCP server, you can expose the resources, the tools, and the prompts, and this makes the AI assistant be able to be more useful and safer and more reliable to use, because you know that it's using the tools that you have built or that are pre-built for that particular task. And how are these tools built into the MCP server? So MCP has a couple of layers. The MCP server, for instance, has a couple of layers. There's the client side, then there's the server side. So let's talk about the server side. The server side consists of two layers, which is the data layer and the transport layer, which serves the client and the server. Remember the web 2.0. Why do I need this web? Why do I have this thing doing? Why does it's rewriting my stuff? Not sure what's going on. Okay, I see what I was doing wrong here. So we have web 2.0, where we have a client. This is a client. This is a server with a database, something of the sort. Then we have a REST API here, which connects to a client which sits inside a Chrome browser. So also MCP follows the same architecture. In this case, now we just exchange this express server to something that is MCP server, right? Then there is MCP client. Then there is the transfer protocol. Here they connect using JSON RPC. This is JSON remote procedure call protocol. That's how do they they communicate between the two. So here in the MCP server, this is where you write your custom logic, where you have your custom logic like your tools, your resources, your prompts, right? And then in the client, this is where this client is attached to an AI host. So this can be built by you. This can be Cursor. This can be Cursor code, and this can be cloud code. This can be also Gemini, right? These are all your MCP or like AI hosting applications, and they connect to an MCP client, and you have an MCP server for different things. So you can have an MCP server for a database system that connects to the database. We can have a MCP file server, and the rest goes on. Let's say you're a developer, you want to build a chatbot that needs to query company's product database. Instead of writing like custom logic, you create an MCP server that exposes JSON products as a resource and tools to find product by name. So it's more like we have turned the web 2.0 but more in an intelligent way, because now we're saying we have now this intelligent engine which interact with people in natural language processing, but allow the language, the LLM, which in this case can be, so in this host you have an LLM model, which can be either from Anthropic, which is Cloud Sonnet. You can have ChatGPT. You can, this is from OpenAI. There's a lot. You can have Olama, where the model is running local, right? This is the brains of the application. The brains of the application is connected to an AI host. So in this AI host, you have different types of MCP server. You can see here they are connected one-to-one, where you can connect and have tools being able to be called and participate different various tools for your LLM to perform better. So MCP is still in its early stage. But it's being adopted in open source AI ecosystems, so you can build agents. This is how your agents will be exposed to outside tools. Let's say you are building a research agent, you have an MCP server for let's say Google Scholar, where it can be able to query to pass in query that are valid for a Google Scholar API architecture, right? Then you can query and return results, and you now make decisions using your AI agents to query for the results, or to make decision based on the returned results. So to recap, an MCP server lets you expose resources, tools, and prompts in a standard way. They make AI systems more extensible and interoperable, in the sense that they allow you to be versatile. Not only do you have now to chat with the LLM, but you can also do a lot of things or do tasks. You can have Gmail MCP server, where you can send emails via large natural language processing. So yeah, that's all I want to say about MCP server, guys. If you want anything, if you want me to explain anything beyond that, you can just let me know.